Hello, English learners. Welcome back once again. I'm Evelyn, and I'm very happy that you are here with me today, because today's session is going to help you train two of the most important skills in English: listening carefully and speaking confidently. And remember, fluency is not built in one day. It grows little by little, sentence by sentence, conversation by conversation. Before we begin our first listening practice, let's prepare your mind and your voice, because English speaking is not only about words, it is also about comfort, rhythm, and confidence. So I want you to sit comfortably, relax your shoulders, and take a slow breath. Now, repeat after me slowly. I am ready to practice English. Again, I am ready to practice English. One more time. I am ready to practice English. Very good. Now repeat. I will listen carefully. Again, I will listen carefully. And now, I will speak clearly. Again, I will speak clearly. Excellent. This is how we gently activate your speaking muscles. Now let's move into our first daily life listening situation. Imagine it is early morning, your alarm rings, and you wake up feeling a little sleepy. You check the time, and you realize you don't have much time before work or school. Listen carefully to this short story. Just listen first. Don't repeat. My alarm rings at 7. I open my eyes slowly. I feel tired, but I sit up. I check my phone and see a message from my coworker. The meeting today is earlier than usual. I quickly get out of bed. I wash my face, brush my teeth, and look for something to wear. I don't have time to cook breakfast, so I grab a banana and a glass of milk. Then I pick up my bag and leave the house. Now I will repeat it more slowly. My alarm rings at 7. I open my eyes slowly. I feel tired, but I sit up. I check my phone and see a message from my coworker. The meeting today is earlier than usual. I quickly get out of bed. I wash my face, brush my teeth, and look for something to wear. I don't have time to cook breakfast, so I grab a banana and a glass of milk. Then I pick up my bag and leave the house. Now let's practice speaking from this story. I will give you simple sentences, and you repeat after me. I wake up early. Again. I wake up early. Now change it. I wake up late. Again. I wake up late. Good. Now repeat. I don't have time for breakfast. Again. I don't have time for breakfast. Now change it. I don't have time for coffee. Again. I don't have time for coffee. Excellent. These small changes train your brain to speak flexibly. Now I want you to speak about your real life. I will give you a sentence pattern, and you complete it. Speak out loud. I wake up at... Pause. Now say your real time. Maybe? I wake up at 7, or I wake up at 8. Good. Now another. In the morning, I usually... Pause. Complete it. In the morning, I usually drink tea, or I usually check my phone. Very nice. This is how listening becomes speaking. Let's move into another listening situation. Arriving at work or school. Listen carefully. I arrive at the office at 9. I say good morning to my coworkers. Some people are already working. Some are still drinking coffee. I sit at my desk, turn on my computer, and check my emails. I see 3 new messages, 1 from my manager, 1 from a client, and 1 from a friend. I decide to reply to my manager first. Now I'll repeat it slower. I arrive at the office at 9. I say good morning to my coworkers. Some people are already working. Some are still drinking coffee. I sit at my desk, turn on my computer, and check my emails. I see 3 new messages, one from my manager, one from a client, and one from a friend. I decide to reply to my manager first. Now speaking practice. Repeat after me. I arrive at work at 9. Again. I arrive at work at 9. Now change the time. I arrive at work at 8. Again. I arrive at work at 8. Good. Now repeat. I check my emails. Again. I check my emails. Now add detail. I check my emails in the morning. Again. I check my emails in the morning. Excellent. Now let's practice feelings at work. Listen first. Today I feel a little nervous. I have an important presentation. I prepared for it last night, but I still feel pressure. I take a deep breath, drink some water, and tell myself, I can do this. Now repeat after me. I feel nervous today. Again, I feel nervous today. Now change it. I feel confident. Today, again, I feel confident today. Good. Now complete this sentence about yourself. Today I feel because, pause and say it. Maybe, today I feel tired because I slept late. Or, I feel happy because it's Friday. Very good. This is real speaking practice. Now let's go to a very common daily situation. Meeting someone for the first time. Listen carefully. Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Is this your first week here? Yes, I just started on Monday. How do you like it so far? I like it. Everyone is friendly. Now again, slower. Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Is this your first week here? Yes, I just started on Monday. How do you like it so far? I like it. Everyone is friendly. Now, repeat after me. Nice to meet you. Again. Nice to meet you. Now. Is this your first week? Again. Is this your first week? Now. I just started on Monday. Again. I just started on Monday. Very good. Now, speaking challenge. Answer this question out loud. Is this your first time learning English seriously? Pause. Answer in your own words. Maybe. Yes, it is my first time. Or, no, I studied before. Good. Now another. How do you feel about your English now? Pause. Answer. Excellent. Speaking grows when you answer real questions. Let's move to a cafe listening scene. Listen. I walk into a small cafe near my office. I look at the menu on the wall. There are many choices. Coffee, tea, sandwiches, and cakes. I go to the counter and say, Hi, can I get a cappuccino, please? The cashier smiles and asks, Small or medium? I say, Medium, please. Then I pay and wait for my order. Now slower. I walk into a small cafe near my office. I look at the menu. On the wall, there are many choices. Coffee, tea, sandwiches, and then cakes. I go to the counter and say, Hi, can I get a cappuccino, please? The cashier smiles and asks, Small or medium? I say, Medium, please. Then I pay and wait for my order. Now repeat after me. Can I get a cappuccino, please? Again. Can I get a cappuccino, please? Now, small or medium? Again. Small or medium? Now answer. Medium, please. Again. Medium, please. Good. Now guided speaking. Order your own drink. Speak now. Hi. Can I get... Continue your sentence. Choose your drink, size, and preference. Say it slowly. Excellent. Now, repeat it faster. Great work. Before we close this first practice session, let's reinforce confident sentences. Repeat after me. I am improving every day. Again, I am improving every day. I am not afraid to speak. Again, I am not afraid to speak. Mistakes help me learn. Again, mistakes help me learn. I enjoy practicing English. Again, I enjoy practicing English. Keep this positive energy, because in the next session, we will continue with more real-life listening stories, deeper speaking practice, and longer conversations to build your fluency step by step. As you continue listening with me, allow your mind to stay calm and open, because improvement happens best when you are relaxed but focused. In this next practice flow, we will move deeper into daily life English, situations that happen almost every day, conversations that may seem simple, but actually build strong speaking foundations when practiced correctly. Let's begin with a very familiar moment, talking with someone at home, maybe a family member, a roommate, or a friend you live with. Listen carefully to this short listening story first. I walk into the kitchen in the evening. My sister is making dinner. I ask, "Do you need help?" She smiles and says, "Yes." "Can you cut the vegetables?" I wash my hands and start cutting carrots and onions. The kitchen smells really good. I feel relaxed after a long day. We talk about work, about traffic, and about what we want to watch later. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. I walk into the kitchen in the evening. My sister is making dinner. I ask, "Do you need help?" She smiles and says, "Yes." "Can you cut the vegetables?" I wash my hands and start cutting carrots and onions. The kitchen smells really good. I feel relaxed after a long day. We talk about work, about traffic, and about what we want to watch later. Now speaking practice. Repeat after me. Do you need help? Again. Do you need help? Now a variation. Do you want help? Again. Do you want help? Good. Now repeat. I can help you. Again. I can help you. Now add detail. I can help you with dinner. Again. I can help you with dinner. Excellent. Notice how we slowly expand sentences. Now, I want you to speak about your life. Complete this sentence. In the evening, I usually pause. Say your real answer, maybe. In the evening, I usually watch TV. Or, I usually cook dinner. Very good. Now another. After work, I feel. Pause. Complete it. After work, I feel tired. Or, I feel relaxed. Good. This is natural speaking training. Let's move into another listening moment, making plans with a friend. Listen first. I get a message from my friend in the afternoon. He writes, "Are you free this weekend?" I think for a moment and reply, "Yes, I'm free on Sunday." He says, "Do you want to watch a movie?" I smile and type, "Sure. What time?" We decide to meet at the cinema at 6. Now again, slower. I get a message from my friend in the afternoon. He writes, "Are you free this weekend?" I think for a moment and reply, "Yes, I'm free on Sunday." He says, "Do you want to watch a movie?" I smile and type, "Sure. What time?" We decide to meet at the cinema at 6. Now repeat after me. Are you free this weekend? Again. Are you free this weekend? Now. I'm free on Sunday. Again. I'm free on Sunday. Now. Do you want to watch a movie? Again. Do you want to watch a movie? Good. Now your turn. Answer this question. Are you free this weekend? Speak your answer. Excellent. Now ask me back. Say, "Are you free this weekend?" Good. That is conversation rhythm. Now let's practice longer speaking. Repeat after me. I'm free on Sunday, but I'm busy on Saturday. Again, I'm free on Sunday, but I'm busy on Saturday. Very good. Now change the days with your real schedule. Say it now. Perfect. This builds B1 flexibility. Let's move to a shopping listening situation. Listen carefully. I go to a supermarket after work. I need to buy a few things: milk, bread, eggs, and some fruit. I walk through the aisles and compare prices. Some items are expensive, some are on discount. I pick fresh apples and a loaf of brown bread. At the checkout counter, the cashier asks, "Do you need a bag?" I say, "Yes, please." Then I pay and leave the store. Now slower. I go to a supermarket after work. I need to buy a few things: milk, bread, eggs, and some fruit. I walk through the aisles and compare prices. Some items are expensive, some are on discount. I pick fresh apples and a loaf of brown bread. At the checkout counter, the cashier asks, "Do you need a bag?" I say, "Yes, please." Then I pay and leave the store. Now repeat after me. I need to buy a few things. Again, I need to buy a few things. Now, some items are expensive. Again, some items are expensive. Now, some items are on discount. Again, some items are on discount. Good. Now, complete this sentence. Today, I need to buy. Pause. Say your items. Excellent. Now, listening for detail, I will say a short shopping story, and you listen for what the person forgets to buy. I make a shopping list before leaving home. I write milk, rice, tomatoes, and coffee. At the store, I see many discounts and get distracted. I buy snacks, juice, and ice cream. When I come home, I check the bag. I realize I forgot to buy coffee. What did the person forget? Yes, coffee. Now repeat after me. I forgot to buy coffee. Again. I forgot to buy coffee. Now change it. I forgot to buy milk. Again. I forgot to buy milk. Good. Let's practice asking for help in a store. Repeat after me. Excuse me. Where can I find rice? Again. Excuse me. Where can I find rice? Now. It's in aisle 5. Again. It's in aisle 5. Now your turn. Ask for a different item. Maybe bread. Maybe fruit. Say it now. Excellent. Now let's move to a phone conversation listening practice. Listen first. My phone rings while I'm cooking. I wipe my hands and answer. "Hello?" my friend says. "Hey, are you busy?" I say, "A little. I'm making dinner. Can I call you back in 10 minutes? He says, "Sure, no problem." I finish cooking and call him later. Now slower. My phone rings while I'm cooking. I wipe my hands and answer. "Hello?" My friend says, "Hey, are you busy?" I say, "A little. I'm making dinner. Can I call you back in 10 minutes? He says, "Sure, no problem." I finish cooking and call him later. Now, repeat after me. Are you busy? Again. Are you busy? Now, I'm making dinner. Again. I'm making dinner. Now. Can I call you back? Again. Can I call you back? Good. Now answer this question about yourself. Are you busy right now? Speak your answer. Excellent. Now, speaking expansion. Repeat. I'm a little busy right now. Again. I'm a little busy right now. Now add time. I'm a little busy right now, but I can talk later. Again. I'm a little busy right now, but I can talk later. Perfect. This is natural conversational flow. Let's do a listening emotion check. I wait all day for an important phone call. I keep checking my phone. I feel nervous. Finally, the phone rings. I answer quickly. After the call ends, I feel relieved and happy. What emotion comes at the end? Yes, relieved and happy. Repeat after me. I feel relieved. Again. I feel relieved. Now. I feel nervous. Again. I feel nervous. Good. Now we will do a longer guided speaking practice. I will guide you through a short daily routine story, and you will repeat in parts. After work, I go to the supermarket. Repeat. Good. Then I buy food for dinner. Repeat. Good. When I get home, I start cooking. Repeat. Good. While cooking, I listen to music. Repeat. Excellent. Now try to say the whole story alone. Slowly. Perfect. That is connected speaking. Before we close this session, let's reinforce fluency affirmations again. Repeat after me. I am becoming a better listener. Again. I am becoming a better listener. I am becoming a confident speaker. Again. I am becoming a confident speaker. I practice every day. Again. I practice every day. My English is growing step by step. Again. My English is growing step by step. Keep this momentum, because in the next continuation, we will practice travel situations, problem-solving conversations, and longer listening stories to push your understanding further. As you continue forward with me, keep your listening active and your speaking relaxed, because now we are going to expand your practice into situations that require a little more thinking, a little more response, and a little more real-world reaction. This is where A2 level slowly grows into B1 when you begin to explain, describe, and respond with more detail. Let's begin with a travel situation, something many learners feel nervous about: asking for directions. Listen carefully first. I'm visiting a new part of the city. I want to find a bookstore. I stop a man on the street and say, "Excuse me, can you help me?" He smiles and says, "Of course." I ask, "Where's the nearest bookstore?" He points down the road and says, "Go straight, then turn left at the traffic light. It's next to a cafe." I thank him and walk in that direction. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. I'm visiting a new part of the city. I want to find a bookstore. I stop a man on the street and say, "Excuse me, can you help me?" He smiles and says, "Of course." I ask, "Where's the nearest bookstore?" He points down the road and says, "Go straight, then turn left at the traffic light. It's next to a cafe." I thank him and walk in that direction. Now speak and practice. Repeat after me. "Excuse me, can you help me?" Again. "Excuse me, can you help me?" Now. "Where's the nearest bookstore?" Again. "Where's the nearest bookstore?" Good. Now repeat. "Go straight." Again. "Go straight." Now. "Turn left at the traffic light." Again. "Turn left at the traffic light." Excellent. Now your turn. Ask for a different place. Maybe a bank, a restaurant, or a bus stop. Speak now. Very good. Let's add more detail speaking. Repeat after me. "Is it far from here?" Again. "Is it far from here?" Now. "How long does it take to walk?" Again. "How long does it take to walk?" These questions are very useful when traveling. Now let's do a listening challenge. Listen for the problem. I'm trying to find my hotel. I follow the directions on my phone, but suddenly my battery dies. I look around and feel confused. I don't recognize the street. I decide to enter a small shop and ask for help. What is the problem? Yes, the phone battery dies. Repeat after me. My phone battery died. Again. My phone battery died. Now add detail. My phone battery died. So, I asked for help. Again. My phone battery died. So, I asked for help. Good. This is B1 linking language. Now let's move into a restaurant listening situation. Listen first. I sit down at a restaurant with my friend. The waiter hands us the menu. There are many options: pasta, salads, soups, and grilled dishes. I ask the waiter, "What do you recommend?" He smiles and says, "Our grilled chicken is very popular." I decide to order that. My friend orders pasta. Now slower. I sit down at a restaurant with my friend. The waiter hands us the menu. There are many options: pasta, salads, soups, and grilled dishes. I ask the waiter, "What do you recommend?" He smiles and says, "Our grilled chicken is very popular." I decide to order that. My friend orders pasta. Now repeat after me. What do you recommend? Again, what do you recommend? Now, I'll have the grilled chicken. Again, I'll have the grilled chicken. Now, my friend orders pasta. Again, my friend orders pasta. Good. Now speaking expansion. Order your own meal. Speak now. I'll have. Continue with your dish. Add a drink if you want. Excellent. Now say it again more smoothly. Perfect. Let's add a small problem in the restaurant. Listen carefully. When my food arrives, I notice it is very spicy. I didn't expect that. I politely call the waiter and say, "Excuse me, this is too spicy for me. Could I change it?" The waiter apologizes and offers another dish. Now repeat after me. This is too spicy for me. Again. This is too spicy for me. Now. Could I change it? Again. Could I change it? Very good. These polite problem sentences are important. Now, let's move into a workplace listening moment. Listen. My manager calls me into her office. She asks about my project. I explain what I've finished and what I still need to do. She listens carefully and gives me some advice. I take notes so I don't forget. Now, slower. My manager calls me into her office. She asks about my project. I explain what I've finished and what I still need to do. She listens carefully and gives me some advice. I take notes so I don't forget. Now repeat after me. I have finished the first part. Again. I have finished the first part. Now. I still need to do the rest. Again. I still need to do the rest. Good. Now combine. I have finished the first part, but I still need to do the rest. Again. Excellent. That is B1 sentence linking. Now, speaking practice about your life. Complete this. Today, I finished. Pause. Say your task. Good. Now, I still need to. Pause. Complete it. Excellent. Let's move into a transportation listening situation. Listen. I'm waiting at the bus stop in the evening. The bus is late. Many people are checking their watches. After 10 minutes, the bus finally arrives. I get on, find a seat, and relax. Now slower. I'm waiting at the bus stop in the evening. The bus is late. Many people are checking their watches. After 10 minutes, the bus finally arrives. I get on, find a seat, and relax. Now repeat. The bus is late. Again. The bus is late. Now. I've been waiting for 10 minutes. Again. I've been waiting for 10 minutes. Good. Now answer. Do you prefer bus or train? Speak your answer. Excellent. Now listening for emotion. After a long day, I sit by the window on the bus. I watch the city lights. I feel quiet, peaceful, and tired, but in a good way. What is the feeling? Yes, peaceful and tired. Repeat. I feel peaceful. Again, I feel peaceful. Good. Now let's do a longer guided speaking chain. Repeat after me, step by step. After work, I go to a restaurant. Repeat. Good. I order dinner. Repeat. Then I take the bus home. Repeat. When I arrive, I feel tired but relaxed. Repeat. Excellent. Now try to say the whole story alone, smoothly. Perfect. That is connected fluency building. Before we close this section, let's reinforce confidence again. Repeat after me. I can ask for directions. Again. I can ask for directions. I can order food confidently. Again. I can order food confidently. I can explain my work. Again. I can explain my work. I can handle daily conversations. Again. I can handle daily conversations. Keep this confidence strong, because in the next continuation, we will practice health situations, problem solving, and opinion sharing conversations to expand your speaking depth even more. As you continue this listening and speaking journey with me, let your focus stay steady and your mind stay patient, because now we are moving into situations where communication becomes more personal, more expressive, and sometimes more emotional. These are the moments where English is not just language, it becomes connection. Let's begin with a health-related daily life situation, something simple but very common. Visiting a doctor or talking about how you feel physically. Listen carefully first. I wake up in the morning feeling strange. My head hurts a little, and my throat feels dry. I try to drink water, but I still feel uncomfortable. I decide to visit a doctor near my house. When I arrive, I sit in the waiting room. After a few minutes, the doctor calls my name. I enter the room and sit down. The doctor asks, "How are you feeling today?" I explain my symptoms slowly. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. I wake up in the morning feeling strange. My head hurts a little, and my throat feels dry. I try to drink water, but I still feel uncomfortable. I decide to visit a doctor near my house. When I arrive, I sit in the waiting room. After a few minutes, the doctor calls my name. I enter the room and sit down. The doctor asks, "How are you feeling today?" I explain my symptoms slowly. Now speaking practice. Repeat after me. My head hurts. Again. My head hurts. Now. My throat feels dry. Again. My throat feels dry. Now. I don't feel well. Again. I don't feel well. Good. Now expand. I don't feel well today. Again. I don't feel well today. Excellent. Now I want you to speak about your own condition. Complete this sentence. Today I feel... Pause. Maybe. Today I feel tired, or I feel sick, or I feel fine. Good. Now add a reason. I feel tired because... Pause and complete. Excellent. That is B1 explanation skill. Let's continue the listening story. The doctor listens carefully and checks my temperature. He says I have a mild cold. He advises me to rest, drink warm tea, and take medicine for 3 days. I thank him and go home. Now repeat after me. I have a mild cold. Again. I have a mild cold. Now. The doctor advised me to rest. Again. The doctor advised me to rest. Good. Now complete. The doctor advised me to Pause. Maybe drink more water. Or sleep early. Excellent. Now let's shift into a pharmacy listening moment. After leaving the clinic, I go to a pharmacy. I give the prescription to the pharmacist. She reads it and prepares the medicine. She explains when to take it, morning and night, after food. Repeat after me. Take this medicine after food. Again. Take this medicine after food. Now. Twice a day. Again. Twice a day. Very good. Now let's move into a problem-solving daily situation. Listen carefully. I arrive at the office and turn on my computer, but something is wrong. The screen stays black. I try again. Still nothing. I feel stressed because I have important work to finish. I call the IT support team. They arrive and fix the problem after 20 minutes. Now repeat after me. My computer isn't working. Again, my computer isn't working. Now, I have important work to finish. Again, I have important work to finish. Good. Now combine. My computer isn't working, and I have important work to finish. Excellent. Now speaking practice. Complete this. When I have a problem, I usually pause, maybe ask for help, or try to fix it myself. Good. Now, add detail. First, I try to, then I... Excellent. This builds structured speaking. Let's do another listening story about losing something. Listen. I arrive home in the evening. I want to open my door, but I can't find my keys. I check my pockets, my bag, and my desk. I start to worry. Then I remember. I left my keys in the office drawer. I feel relieved. Now repeat. I can't find my keys. Again. I can't find my keys. Now. I left them at the office. Again. I left them at the office. Good. Now emotional speaking. Repeat. I feel worried. Again. I feel worried. Now. I feel relieved. Again. I feel relieved. Excellent. Emotions are important in conversation. Let's move into an opinion-sharing listening situation. This is where B1 level grows strongly. Listen first. During lunch break, my coworkers discuss working from home. Some people love it. Some prefer the office. One coworker says working from home saves time. Another says the office feels more productive. I listen and then share my opinion. Now repeat after me. In my opinion. Again. In my opinion. Now. I prefer working from home. Again. I prefer working from home. Now variation. I prefer working at the office. Again. Good. Now your turn. Answer this. Do you prefer studying alone or in a group? Speak your answer. Excellent. Now expand. I prefer because. Perfect. That is B1 reasoning. Let's move into a weather listening story. I wake up and look outside the window. The sky is gray. It starts raining heavily. I plan to go out, but I decide to stay home. I make tea and read a book instead. Repeat after me. It's raining heavily. Again. It's raining heavily. Now. I decide to stay home. Again. I decide to stay home. Good. Now, personal speaking. Complete. When it rains, I usually pause, maybe watch movies, or sleep. Excellent. Let's do a longer connected listening story combining situations. Listen carefully. Yesterday was a long day. I woke up feeling tired, but I still went to work. My computer had a problem in the morning. Later, I had an important meeting. After work, it started raining heavily. I couldn't find a taxi. But finally I reached home. I made hot tea and relaxed. Now repeat one key sentence. Yesterday was a long day. Again. Yesterday was a long day. Now expand. Yesterday was a long day because... Complete it. Excellent. Now we will do guided connected speaking. Repeat step by step. Yesterday I woke up early. Repeat. I went to work. Repeat. I had some problems. Repeat. But I finished my tasks. Repeat. In the evening, I relaxed at home. Repeat. Excellent. Now say the full story alone. Slowly. Perfect. That is fluency chaining. Before we close this section, let's strengthen your speaking confidence again. Repeat after me. I can talk about my health. Again. I can talk about my health. I can explain problems. Again. I can explain problems. I can share my opinions. Again. I can share my opinions. I can describe my day. Again. I can describe my day. Keep this steady growth feeling, because in the next continuation, we will practice social conversations, invitations, future plans, and deeper listening stories that expand your conversational range even further. As you continue moving forward with me in this listening and speaking journey, notice how your understanding is becoming more natural. You are not translating every word anymore. You are beginning to feel the meaning, the emotion, and the rhythm of English. And this is exactly where your fluency starts growing faster, because comfort creates confidence, and confidence creates expression. Now in this continuation, we will step into social life situations, conversations that happen when you meet friends, receive invitations, make plans, or talk about future activities. These situations are very important because they require both listening accuracy and speaking flexibility. Let's begin with a listening story about receiving an invitation. Listen carefully. I finish work in the evening and check my phone. I see a message from my friend. She writes, "Hey, I'm having a small dinner party on Saturday. Would you like to come?" I smile because I haven't seen her in a long time. I reply, "That sounds lovely. What time should I arrive?" She answers, "Come around 7. We'll start dinner at 8. I say, "Perfect. I'll be there." Now I'll repeat it more slowly. I finish work in the evening and check my phone. I see a message from my friend. She writes, "Hey, I'm having a small dinner party on Saturday. Would you like to come?" I smile because I haven't seen her in a long time. I reply, "That sounds lovely. What time should I arrive?" She answers, "Come around 7. We'll start dinner at 8. I say, "Perfect. I'll be there." Now speaking practice, repeat after me. Would you like to come? Again. Would you like to come? Now. That sounds lovely. Again. That sounds lovely. Now. What time should I arrive? Again. What time should I arrive? Excellent. Now your turn. Respond to this invitation. I will say the invitation. You answer, "I'm having dinner on Saturday. Would you like to come?" Pause. Answer. Maybe, "Yes, I'd love to." Or, "Sorry, I'm busy." Good. Now expand your answer. "Yes, I'd love to. Thank you for inviting me." Very nice. Let's move into another listening situation. Declining an invitation politely, listen carefully. My coworker invites me to a concert. I want to go, but I already have plans. I say, "Thank you so much for inviting me, but I already have something planned that evening." Maybe next time? My coworker smiles and says, no problem. We'll go together another day. Now repeat after me. Thank you for inviting me. Again. Thank you for inviting me. Now. I already have plans. Again. I already have plans. Now combine. I already have plans, but thank you for inviting me. Excellent. This is polite social English. Now speaking about your life. Complete. This weekend, I'm going to pause. Maybe visit my family or rest at home. Good. Now expand. This weekend, I'm going to because excellent. That is future explanation. Let's move into a future travel listening story. Listen. I'm planning a short trip next month. I want to visit the mountains. I imagine the fresh air, the quiet mornings, and the beautiful views. I start searching for hotels online. I compare prices, read reviews, and choose a small cabin. Now repeat after me. I'm planning a trip. Again. I'm planning a trip. Now. I want to visit the mountains. Again. I want to visit the mountains. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. Next year I want to visit. Pause. Say your place. Excellent. Now. Add a reason. I want to visit because. Very good. Let's move into a social gathering listening scene. I arrive at my friend's dinner party. Soft music is playing. People are talking and laughing. My friend introduces me to her colleagues. I shake hands and say, nice to meet you. We talk about work, hobbies, and travel. Now repeat. Nice to meet you. Again. Nice to meet you. Now. What do you do for work? Again. What do you do for work? Good. Now speaking challenge. Answer this. What do you do for work? Speak your answer. Excellent. Now expand. I work as, and I enjoy. Perfect. Let's add a listening moment about feeling shy in social situations. At the party, I feel a little shy at first. I don't know many people. I stand near the table and sip my drink, but slowly, I join a conversation, and I start feeling comfortable. Repeat after me. I feel shy. Again. I feel shy. Now. I feel comfortable now. Again. I feel comfortable now. Good. Emotional transitions are important in storytelling. Let's move into a friendship conversation listening story. I sit with my close friend and talk about life. We discuss work stress, future goals, and personal dreams. I tell her I want to improve my English fluency. She encourages me and says I'm already improving. Now repeat. I want to improve my English fluency. Again, I want to improve my English fluency. Now, I'm already improving. Again, good. Now, speaking reflection, complete. One of my goals is, pause, maybe, to speak English confidently. Excellent. Now expand. One of my goals is, and I'm working on it by, perfect. Let's move into a planning conversation listening story. My friends and I sit together and plan a weekend outing. One suggests going to the beach. Another suggests hiking. We discuss costs, travel time, and weather. Finally, we agree on a short road trip. Repeat after me. Let's plan a trip. Again. Let's plan a trip. Now. That's a good idea. Again. That's a good idea. Excellent. Now guided speaking. Suggest an activity. Speak now. Let's go to continue. Good. Now agree. That sounds fun. Excellent. Let's move into a longer emotional listening story. Combining social themes. Listen carefully. Last weekend was special. I met my old friends after many years. At first, we felt different. Time had changed us. But slowly, we started laughing again, sharing memories, talking about dreams. By the end of the evening, it felt like nothing had changed. Repeat after me. Last weekend was special. Again. Last weekend was special. Now. We shared memories. Again. We shared memories. Good. Now connected speaking practice. Repeat step by step. Last weekend I met my friends. Repeat. We talked for hours. Repeat. We laughed a lot. Repeat. I felt very happy. Repeat. Now say the full story alone. Excellent. Before we close this continuation, let's reinforce your fluency affirmations again. Repeat after me. I can accept invitations. Again. I can accept invitations. I can politely decline. Again. I can politely decline. I can talk at social events. Again. I can talk at social events. I can share my future plans. Again. I can share my future plans. Keep this social confidence growing, because in the next continuation, we will move into deeper conversations, giving advice, solving misunderstandings, and expressing feelings with more detail to expand your speaking range even further. As you continue listening and speaking with me, you may begin to notice something important. Your mind is responding faster, your sentences are forming more naturally, and you are becoming more comfortable expressing ideas. Not just basic needs, but also thoughts, advice, and feelings. And this is where your English begins moving more strongly into B1 fluency, when you can explain, suggest, and respond with care and clarity. So in this continuation, we will focus on conversations where you give advice, handle misunderstandings, and express emotions more deeply. These are very real-life situations, because communication is not always smooth. Sometimes we need to guide others or solve small problems through language. Let's begin with a listening story about giving advice. Listen carefully. My coworker looks stressed at her desk. I walk over and ask if everything is okay. She tells me she has too many tasks and doesn't know where to start. I listen carefully and say, "Why don't you make a list first? Start with the most important task, then move to the smaller ones." She smiles and says, "That's helpful." Now I'll repeat it more slowly. My coworker looks stressed at her desk. I walk over and ask if everything is okay. She tells me she has too many tasks and doesn't know where to start. I listen carefully and say, "Why don't you make a list first? Start with the most important task, then move to the smaller ones." She smiles and says, "That's helpful." Now speaking practice, repeat after me. Why don't you make a list? Again, why don't you make a list? Now, you should start with the important tasks. Again, you should start with the important tasks. Good. Now combine. You should start with the important tasks first. Excellent. Now your turn. Give advice about studying English. Complete. You should pause. Maybe practice every day or watch English videos. Good. Now expand. You should, because. Excellent. That is B1, reasoning with advice. Let's move into another advice listening situation. My friend tells me she feels tired every day. She sleeps late and wakes up early. I suggest, maybe you should sleep earlier and reduce screen time at night. She nods and says she will try. Repeat after me. You should sleep earlier. Again. You should sleep earlier. Now, you should reduce screen time. Again. Good. Now, personal speaking. Complete. To stay healthy, you should pause. Excellent. Let's move into a misunderstanding listening story. Listen carefully. I send a message to my coworker asking for a report. I write quickly and sound direct. Later, she looks upset. She thought I was being rude. I explain that I was just in a hurry. We talk and clear the misunderstanding. Now repeat. I was just in a hurry. Again. I was just in a hurry. Now. I didn't mean to sound rude. Again. I didn't mean to sound rude. Good. These sentences repair communication. Now speaking practice. Imagine you misunderstood someone. Repeat. Sorry, I misunderstood you. Again. Sorry, I misunderstood you. Now. Let me explain what I meant. Again. Excellent. Let's move into a workplace discussion listening moment. During a team meeting, we discuss project deadlines. One colleague thinks the timeline is too short. Another thinks it's manageable. I share my opinion calmly and suggest extending the deadline by 2 days. Repeat after me. In my opinion. Again. In my opinion. Now. I think we need more time. Again. Good. Now expand. I think we need more time to finish properly. Excellent. Now your speaking turn. Complete. In my opinion, learning English is... Pause. Excellent. Now add a reason. Very good. Let's move into an emotional listening story. After a long week, I feel emotionally tired. I sit quietly in my room. I think about my progress, my struggles, and my achievements. Slowly, I remind myself that growth takes time. Repeat after me. I feel emotionally tired. Again. I feel emotionally tired. Now. Growth takes time. Again. Good. Now. Reflective speaking. Complete. When I feel tired, I usually... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a friendship advice listening story. My friend feels nervous about a job interview. She worries she might make mistakes. I tell her, it's okay to feel nervous. Just prepare well, speak slowly, and be yourself. She feels more confident after our talk. Repeat. It's okay to feel nervous. Again. It's okay to feel nervous. Now. Just be yourself. Again. Good. Now. Speaking challenge. Give advice to someone learning English. Speak now. Excellent. Let's move into a misunderstanding at a restaurant listening scene. I order a vegetarian dish, but the waiter brings chicken. I politely explain, "Excuse me, I ordered the vegetarian meal. Could you check again?" The waiter apologizes and replaces the dish. Repeat. I ordered the vegetarian meal. Again. I ordered the vegetarian meal. Now. Could you... Check again? Again. Good. Polite correction is key. Let's move into a deeper emotional listening story about encouragement. I feel discouraged after making many speaking mistakes. I think I'm not improving. Then my teacher reminds me, every mistake is progress, because it means you're trying. I feel motivated again. Repeat. Every mistake is progress. Again. Every mistake is progress. Good. Now personal speaking reflection. Complete. When I make mistakes, I feel... Pause. Now add. But I remind myself. Excellent. That builds emotional fluency. Let's do a longer connected listening story combining advice and emotion. Last month was challenging. I had work pressure, health issues, and low motivation. I spoke to a close friend. She advised me to rest more, plan better, and stay positive. I followed her advice, and slowly felt balanced again. Repeat key sentence. I followed. Her advice? Again. Good. Now guided speaking chain. Repeat step by step. I had a difficult week. Repeat. I spoke to a friend. Repeat. She gave me advice. Repeat. I felt better afterward. Repeat. Now, say the full story alone. Excellent. Before we close this continuation, let's reinforce confidence affirmations again. Repeat after me. I can give advice. Again. I can give advice. I can solve misunderstandings. Again. I can solve misunderstandings. I can express emotions. Again. I can express emotions. I can encourage others. Again. I can encourage others. Keep this emotional and conversational strength growing, because in the next continuation, we will practice storytelling, past experiences, and longer listening narratives that will stretch your fluency even further. As you continue progressing with me, you may now feel that you're listening. Stamina is getting stronger. You can stay focused longer. You can follow stories more clearly. And you can respond with fuller sentences. This is a very important stage in your fluency journey, because now we begin working with storytelling, describing past experiences, and narrating life events. These skills push you firmly into B1 conversational territory, where you are not just reacting, but expressing. Let's begin with a listening story about a recent personal experience. Listen carefully. Last weekend, I decided to wake up early and go for a walk in the park. The weather was cool and fresh, birds were singing, and the streets were quiet. I walked slowly, breathing deeply. After a long and stressful week, that peaceful walk helped me relax. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. Last weekend, I decided to wake up early and go for a walk in the park. The weather was cool and fresh, birds were singing, and the streets were quiet. I walked slowly, breathing deeply. After a long and stressful week, that peaceful walk helped me relax. Now speaking practice. Repeat after me. Last weekend, I went for a walk. Again. Last weekend, I went for a walk. Now. The weather was cool and fresh. Again. The weather was cool and fresh. Good. Now combine. The weather was cool and fresh, and I felt relaxed. Excellent. Now your turn. Complete. Last weekend, I... Pause. Describe your real activity. Good. Now expand. I felt... Because... Excellent. This builds emotional storytelling. Let's move into another listening story about trying something new. A few days ago, I tried cooking a new recipe for the first time. I watched a video online and followed the steps carefully. At first I felt nervous, but slowly, I gained confidence. When the dish was ready, I tasted it, and it was delicious. Repeat after me. I tried something new. Again. I tried something new. Now. At first I felt nervous. Again. Good. Now. But I gained confidence. Again. Excellent. Now, personal speaking. Complete. Recently I tried. Pause. Excellent. Now add feeling. At first, I felt, but later, perfect. Let's move into a travel memory listening story. 2 years ago, I traveled to a coastal city with my family. We stayed near the beach. Every morning we watched the sunrise. During the day we explored markets, tasted local food, and took photos. That trip created beautiful memories. Repeat. 2 years ago I traveled. Again. 2 years ago I traveled. Now. We watched the sunrise, Again. Good. Now your speaking turn. Complete. One of my favorite trips was pause. Excellent. Now expand. I enjoyed it because very good. Let's move into a challenging experience listening story. Last year I faced a difficult project at work. The deadline was short and the workload was heavy. I felt stressed at first, but I organized my time carefully, worked late when necessary, and finally completed the project successfully. Repeat after me. I faced a difficult challenge. Again. I faced a difficult challenge. Now. I completed it successfully. Again. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. One challenge I faced was pause. Now add. I solved it by excellent. Let's move into a friendship memory listening story. Last month I met my childhood friend after many years. At first we felt shy because time had passed, but slowly we began talking, remembering old stories and laughing again. It felt like we were children once more. Repeat. We shared old memories. Again. We shared old memories. Now. We laughed together. Again. Good. Now your turn. Complete. I felt happy when. Pause. Excellent. Add detail. Because. Perfect. Let's move into a learning experience listening story. When I first started learning English, I felt confused. I couldn't understand fast speech, and I was afraid to speak. But with daily practice, listening sessions, and speaking exercises, I slowly became more confident. Repeat. When I first started learning English, again. Now, I was afraid to speak. Again. Now, but I became more confident. Excellent. Now, reflective speaking. Complete. When I started learning English, I felt pause. Now add. Now, I feel very good. Let's move into a mistake-based storytelling listening moment. One day, I accidentally sent an email to the wrong person. I felt embarrassed immediately. I quickly apologized and explained the mistake. Thankfully, the person understood. Repeat. I made a mistake. Again. I made a mistake. Now. I apologized quickly. Again. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. One mistake I made was pause. Add. I learned that. Excellent. Let's move into a proud achievement listening story. Recently, I completed an online course I had been delaying for months. It required discipline and focus. When I received the certificate, I felt proud of myself. Repeat. I felt proud of myself. Again. Good. Now you're speaking. Complete. I felt proud when. Pause. Excellent. Let's do a longer connected storytelling listening passage. Listen carefully. Last year was a year of growth for me. I started new habits, learned new skills, and faced personal challenges. There were moments of stress, but also moments of pride. By the end of the year, I felt stronger and more confident. Repeat key sentence. Last year was a year of growth for me. Again. Good. Now, guided speaking chain. Repeat step by step. Last year, I learned many things. Repeat. I faced challenges. Repeat. I worked hard. Repeat. I grew stronger. Repeat. Now say the full story alone. Excellent. Before we close this continuation, let's reinforce your storytelling confidence. Repeat after me. I can describe past experiences. Again. I can describe past experiences. I can share memories. Again. I can share memories. I can talk about challenges. Again. I can talk about challenges. I can express pride and growth. Again, I can express pride and growth. Keep this storytelling strength building, because in the next continuation, we will move into future dreams, long-term goals, and extended listening narratives that will stretch your fluency to an even deeper level. As you continue moving forward with me in this listening and speaking practice, you may now notice that your mind is able to travel through time more comfortably in English. You can talk about the past, describe the present, and now we begin expanding into the language of the future. Because speaking about dreams, goals, and plans is a powerful step toward confident B1 fluency. It allows you not only to communicate, but to express direction, intention, and purpose. Let's begin with a listening story about personal future plans. Listen carefully. Next year, I want to focus more on self-improvement. I plan to read more books, improve my English fluency, and take better care of my health. I know it won't happen overnight, but I'm ready to work for it step by step. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. Next year, I want to focus more on self-improvement. I plan to read more books, improve my English fluency, and take better care of my health. No, it won't happen overnight, but I'm ready to work for it step by step. Now, speaking practice. Repeat after me. Next year, I want to improve myself. Again. Next year, I want to improve myself. Now, I plan to read more books. Again. I plan to read more books. Now combine. I plan to read more books and improve my English. Excellent. Now your turn. Complete. Next year, I want to pause. Speak your real goal. Good. Now expand. I want to because. Excellent. This builds purpose-based speaking. Let's move into a career goals listening story. In the future, I want to grow professionally. I want to learn new skills, take on bigger responsibilities, and work on meaningful projects. I believe continuous learning will open new opportunities for me. Repeat after me. In the future, I want to grow professionally. Again. Now. I want to learn new skills. Again. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. In the future, I want to become. Pause. Excellent. Now add. I'm preparing by. Very good. Let's move into a dream travel listening story. One of my biggest dreams is to travel around the world. I want to experience different cultures, taste new foods, and meet people from different backgrounds. I believe travel teaches lessons that books cannot. Repeat. One of my biggest dreams is. Again. Now. I want to travel around the world. Again. Good. Now your speaking turn. Complete. My dream destination is. Pause. Add reason. Because. Excellent. Let's move into a personal development listening story. I want to build better habits in my life. Waking up earlier, exercising regularly, and managing my time wisely. I know habits shape our future. Repeat. I want to build better habits. Again. Now. Habits shape our future. Again. Good. Now reflective speaking. Complete. One habit I want to build is. Pause. Add. Because. Excellent. Let's move into a financial planning listening story. I also want to improve my financial stability. I plan to save more money, reduce unnecessary spending, and invest in learning opportunities. Small financial decisions today can create a secure future. Repeat. I plan to save more money. Again. Now. I want financial stability. Again. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. I want to save money for... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a family future listening story. I often think about my future family life. I imagine a peaceful home, supportive relationships, and a balanced work-life routine. I want to create an environment filled with respect and understanding. Repeat. I imagine a peaceful home. Again. Good. Now. Emotional speaking. Complete. In the future, I want my life to feel... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a learning journey. Listening story. I know my English journey will continue. I will keep practicing listening daily, speaking without fear, and learning new vocabulary. I believe consistency will make me fluent. Repeat. I will keep practicing. Again. Consistency will make me fluent. Again. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. I will continue learning English by... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a challenge-based future listening story. I understand that the future will bring challenges, but I feel ready to face them, because every difficulty is also a lesson, and every lesson builds strength. Repeat. I feel ready to face challenges. Again. Good. Now reflective speaking. Complete. When I face challenges, I will. Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a longer connected future. Narrative. Listen carefully. 5 years from now, I see myself more confident, more skilled, and more experienced. I imagine speaking English fluently in professional settings, traveling freely, and communicating with people from all over the world. That vision motivates me today. Repeat key sentence. 5 years from now, I see myself more confident. Again. Good. Now guided speaking chain. Repeat step by step. In 5 years, I want to grow. Repeat. I want to achieve my goals. Repeat. I want to travel. Repeat. I want to speak English fluently. Repeat. Now say the full future vision alone. Excellent. Let's move into a motivational listening story about persistence. Sometimes progress feels slow. Sometimes motivation feels low. But I remind myself that every small effort counts. Every listening session, every speaking attempt, every mistake moves me forward. Repeat. Every small effort counts. Again. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. When I feel unmotivated, I remind myself. Pause. Excellent. Let's close this continuation with strong future affirmations. Repeat after me. I have clear goals. Again. I have clear goals. I am building my future. Again. I am building my future. I will keep improving. Again. I will keep improving. My fluency is growing every day. Again. My fluency is growing every day. Hold on to this future-focused confidence, because in the next continuation, we will move into extended real-life conversations, combining past, present, and future speaking to strengthen your fluency into longer natural dialogue flow. As you continue this deep listening and speaking journey with me, you are now reaching a stage where your English can begin to flow across time naturally, past experiences, present realities, and future plans, all connecting into one continuous conversation. This is where communication starts to feel real, because life conversations rarely stay in one time frame. We move between memories, current situations, and future intentions smoothly. So in this continuation, we will practice extended real-life dialogue storytelling, combining all three. Let's begin with a longer listening narrative. Listen carefully. Last year, I started a new job in a different city. At first, everything felt unfamiliar. The streets, the office, the people. I felt nervous every morning, but I kept learning. Slowly, I made friends at work. I discovered my favorite cafe near the office, and I built a daily routine. Now, 1 year later, I feel comfortable and confident, and in the future, I hope to grow further in this company. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. Last year, I started a new job in a different city. At first, everything felt unfamiliar. The streets, the office, the people. I felt nervous every morning, but I kept learning. Slowly, I made friends at work. I discovered my favorite cafe near the office, and I built a daily routine. Now, 1 year later, I feel comfortable and confident, and in the future, I hope to grow further in this company. Now speaking practice. Repeat after me. Last year, I started a new chapter. Again. Last year, I started a new chapter. Now. At first, I felt nervous. Again. At first, I felt nervous. Now combine. At first, I felt nervous, but I kept learning. Excellent. Now your turn. Complete. Last year, I... Pause. Describe something real. Good. Now expand. At first, I felt, but later. Excellent. That builds emotional storytelling fluency. Let's move into another extended listening story. When I first began learning English seriously, I struggled to understand conversations. Native speakers sounded too fast, and I felt shy speaking, but I didn't quit. I listened every day, practiced speaking aloud, and slowly built confidence. Now, I can hold conversations, and in the future, I want to speak even more fluently. Repeat after me. When I first began learning English, again. Now. I struggled at first, again. Good. Now. But I didn't quit. Again. Excellent. Now. Reflective speaking. Complete. When I started learning English, I... Pause. Now add. Now I can... Very good. Let's move into a relationship-based listening story. A few months ago, I had a misunderstanding with a close friend. We stopped talking for some time. I felt sad and uncomfortable. But one day I decided to call and talk honestly. We shared our feelings, apologized, and rebuilt our friendship. Now, our bond feels even stronger. Repeat. We had the misunderstanding again. Now. We talked honestly. Again. Good. Now. Our bond became stronger. Excellent. Now, personal speaking. Complete. One misunderstanding I had was... Pause. Add. We solved it by... Excellent. Let's move into a workplace growth listening story. In my previous job, I was afraid to speak in meetings. I worried about making mistakes. But my manager encouraged me. She said my ideas were valuable. Slowly, I began sharing more. Now, I speak confidently in discussions, and in the future, I hope to lead meetings myself. Repeat. I was afraid to speak. Again. Now. I speak confidently now. Again. Good. Now you're speaking. Complete. In the past, I was afraid of, but now, excellent. Let's move into a family reflection listening story. Growing up, my parents always encouraged learning. They taught me discipline, patience, and hard work. At that time, I didn't fully understand their advice. But now, I see its value, and in the future, I want to pass these lessons to others. Repeat. My parents encouraged me. Again. Now I understand their advice. Again. Good. Now, reflective speaking. Complete. One lesson I learned from my family is pause. Excellent. Let's move into a lifestyle change listening story. 2 years ago, I lived a very unbalanced life. I worked late, slept poorly, and ignored my health. But one day, I realized I needed change. I began exercising, eating better, and managing stress. Now I feel healthier, and I plan to maintain this lifestyle. Repeat. I realized I needed change. Again. Now I feel healthier. Again. Good. Now, personal speaking. Complete. I changed my lifestyle by pause. Excellent. Let's move into a combined emotional growth listening story. Life has given me many experiences, some joyful, some difficult. Every challenge taught me resilience. Every success built confidence. Now, I face the future with calm determination. Repeat. Every challenge taught me resilience. Again. Now. Every success built confidence. Again. Good. Now, speaking reflection. Complete. One challenge that taught me strength was pause. Excellent. Let's move into an extended guided storytelling chain. Repeat step by step. In the past, I faced challenges. Repeat. I learned from them. Repeat. Today, I feel stronger. Repeat. In the future, I want to grow even more. Repeat. Now say the full connected story alone. Excellent. That is high-level conversational structuring. Let's add a listening conversation combining two speakers. Listen carefully. My friend asks me, "How have you changed over the years?" I think for a moment and reply, "I've become more patient, more focused, and more confident. I've learned to handle stress better and to appreciate small achievements." Repeat. I've become more confident. Again. Now. I've learned to handle stress better. Again. Good. Now your speaking turn. Answer. How have you changed over the years? Pause. Excellent. Before we close this continuation, let's reinforce your connected fluency affirmations. Repeat after me. I can talk about my past. Again. I can talk about my past. I can describe my present. Again. I can describe my present. I can express my future plans. Again. I can express my future plans. I can connect my life stories. Again. I can connect my life stories. Keep this powerful narrative fluency growing, because in the next continuation, we will move into extended real-time conversations, problem discussions, and opinion. Debates that stretch your listening and speaking endurance even further. As you continue flowing with me through this listening and speaking journey, you may now feel that your English is becoming more alive, more responsive, and more capable of handling longer conversations. And this is exactly what we will strengthen now. Your ability to participate in extended real-time discussions where you listen carefully, respond thoughtfully, and express opinions clearly, because real-life conversations are rarely short. They move through ideas, problems, solutions, and reflections. Let's begin with a workplace discussion listening story. Listen carefully. During a team meeting, our manager raises a concern about productivity. She explains that some deadlines are being missed and asks the team to share honest feedback. One colleague mentions workload pressure. Another mentions communication gaps. I listen carefully and then share my view. I suggest clearer task planning and regular progress updates. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. During a team meeting, our manager raises a concern about productivity. She explains that some deadlines are being missed and asks the team to share honest feedback. One colleague mentions workload pressure, another mentions communication gaps. I listen carefully and then share my view. I suggest clearer task planning and regular progress updates. Now speaking practice. Repeat after me. In my opinion, we need better planning. Again. In my opinion, we need better planning. Now. We should communicate more regularly. Again. We should communicate more regularly. Good. Now combine. We should communicate more regularly to avoid delays. Excellent. Now your turn. Complete. In my opinion, teamwork improves when... Pause. Excellent. Now add a reason. Very good. Let's move into a problem discussion listening situation. My colleague approaches me and says he feels overwhelmed with work. He has multiple deadlines and feels stressed. I listen and respond calmly. I say, maybe you should prioritize tasks and ask for help if needed. He nods and says he will try. Repeat, you should prioritize your tasks. Again, now. You should ask for help. Again, good. Now, personal speaking, complete. When I feel overwhelmed, I usually... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a customer service listening conversation. I visit a service center to fix my internet connection. I explain the problem. My internet has been slow for 3 days. The representative listens and checks my account. He apologizes and schedules a technician visit. Repeat. My internet has been slow. Again. Now. Could you please check it? Again. Good. Now role-play speaking. Report a problem. Speak. Now. My has been... Continue. Excellent. Let's move into a debate-style listening discussion. During lunch, my coworkers begin discussing remote work versus office work. One says working from home increases comfort. Another argues the office improves discipline. I listen to both sides before sharing my balanced opinion. Repeat. Both options have advantages. Again. Now. It depends on the person. Again. Good. Now your speaking turn. Complete. In my opinion, working from home is... because... Excellent. Let's move into a technology discussion listening story. Technology has changed our daily lives dramatically. We communicate faster, work remotely, and learn online. But some people feel technology reduces face-to-face interaction. During a conversation, I express both appreciation and concern. Repeat. Technology has changed our lives. Again, now. It has advantages and disadvantages. Again, good. Now personal speaking. Complete. Technology helps me by... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a misunderstanding resolution listening conversation. During a project discussion, my idea is misunderstood. A colleague thinks I'm criticizing his work. I calmly clarify. I respect your work. I was only suggesting an improvement. The tension fades. Repeat. I respect your work. Again. Now. I was only suggesting an improvement. Again. Good. Now speaking practice. Complete. I didn't mean to criticize. I only wanted to... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a community discussion listening story. At a neighborhood meeting, residents discuss improving local facilities. Some suggest better security. Others suggest cleaner parks. I listen and share my opinion about community cooperation. Repeat. We should work together. Again. Now. Community cooperation is important. Again. Good. Now your speaking turn. Complete. My community can improve by... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a financial discussion listening story. Friends gather and talk about saving money. One friend saves regularly. Another struggles to manage spending. I share my experience about budgeting and financial planning. Repeat. I try to save regularly. Again. Now. I manage my expenses carefully. Again. Good. Now, personal speaking. Complete. Saving money is important because... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into an environmental discussion listening story. A group discussion begins about environmental responsibility. We talk about reducing plastic use, conserving water, and planting trees. I share my belief that small actions create collective impact. Repeat. We should reduce plastic use. Again. Now. Small actions create big impact. Again. Good. Now speak in reflection. Complete. I help the environment by... Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a longer extended dialogue listening narrative. Listen carefully. During a panel discussion at work, multiple topics arise: productivity, mental health, career growth, and work-life balance. I listen attentively, take notes, and share thoughtful input when appropriate. The conversation flows respectfully, with different opinions, but shared understanding. Repeat key sentence. I listen attentively and share thoughtful input. Again. Good. Now guided speaking chain. Repeat step by step. I listen carefully in discussions. Repeat. I respect different opinions. Repeat. I share my thoughts calmly. Repeat. I learn from conversations. Repeat. Now say the full sequence alone. Excellent. Before we close this continuation, let's reinforce your discussion. Confidence affirmations. Repeat after me. I can discuss problems. Again. I can discuss problems. I can share opinions. Again. I can share opinions. I can handle debates respectfully. Again. I can handle debates respectfully. I can participate in long conversations. Again. I can participate in long conversations. Hold this conversational endurance firmly, because in the next continuation, we will move into the final extended immersion, combining storytelling, discussions, reflections, and motivational closing fluency reinforcement. As you continue staying present in this listening and speaking immersion, allow yourself to notice how far you have come. Your listening endurance has expanded, your speaking confidence has strengthened, and your ability to remain inside English without translating has grown deeper. This final, extended practice flow will combine everything you have trained. Storytelling, discussion, reflection, emotion, and future vision, all moving together in one natural conversational stream. Let's begin with a reflective listening narrative. Listen carefully. Over the past months, I've dedicated time to improving myself. I built small daily habits, listening practice in the morning, speaking practice in the evening, and reflection before sleep. At first, progress felt slow, but gradually, I began noticing changes. I understood conversations more easily. I responded faster, and I felt less afraid of mistakes. Now I'll repeat it more slowly. Over the past months, I've dedicated time to improving myself. I built small daily habits, listening practice in the morning, speaking practice in the evening, and reflection before sleep. At first, progress felt slow, but gradually, I began noticing changes. I understood conversations more easily, I responded faster, and I felt less afraid of mistakes. Now, speaking practice, repeat after me. I built small daily habits. Again, I built small daily habits. Now, progress felt slow at first. Again, progress felt slow at first. Now combine. Progress felt slow at first, but I kept going. Excellent. Now personal speaking. Complete. I improved my English by pause. Excellent. Now expand. At first, but later. Very good. Let's move into a listening reflection about confidence growth. There was a time when I avoided speaking English. I worried about pronunciation, grammar, and judgment. But through consistent listening and speaking practice, I realized that communication matters more than perfection. That realization changed my mindset. Repeat after me. Communication matters more than perfection. Again. Communication matters more than perfection. Good. Now reflective speaking. Complete. I used to be afraid of, but now. Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a combined storytelling and discussion listening narrative. Recently, I participated in a group discussion in English. At first, I stayed quiet, listening carefully, understanding ideas. Then slowly, I began contributing, sharing thoughts, and responding naturally. By the end of the discussion, I felt proud of my progress. Repeat. I participated in a discussion. Again. Now. I shared my thoughts. Again. Good. Now speaking. Complete. I felt proud when. Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a listening story about overcoming hesitation. One day, I decided to speak English the entire day. At work, at stores, even on phone calls. It wasn't perfect. I made mistakes, paused often, and searched for words. But that day gave me confidence because I proved to myself that I could communicate. Repeat. I proved to myself that I could communicate. Again. Good. Now personal speaking. Complete. I felt confident when. Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a deeper emotional listening reflection. Language learning is not only intellectual, it is emotional. It requires patience, courage, and self-belief. Some days feel motivating, others feel frustrating, but every learner who persists eventually grows. Repeat. Language learning requires patience. Again. Every learner who persists grows. Again. Good. Now. Reflective speaking. Complete. When I feel frustrated, I remind myself. Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a life balance listening narrative. As I improve my English, I also improve my communication in life. I listened more carefully, spoke more thoughtfully, and expressed emotions more clearly. Language growth influenced personal growth. Repeat. Language growth influenced personal growth. Again. Good. Now speak in reflection. Complete. Learning English has helped me. Pause. Excellent. Let's move into a combined past, present, future immersion story. Listen carefully. In the past, I struggled to understand conversations. In the present, I can listen and respond with growing confidence. And in the future, I see myself communicating fluently across cultures, building friendships, and expanding opportunities. Repeat. In the past, I struggled. Again. In the present, I'm improving. Again. In the future, I will be fluent. Excellent. Now guided speaking chain. Repeat step by step. In the past, I felt unsure. Repeat. Today, I feel more confident. Repeat. In the future, I will be fluent. Repeat. Now say the full timeline alone. Excellent. Let's move into a final extended listening immersion. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. You're sitting in a conversation entirely in English. You understand jokes, respond naturally, share stories, express opinions, and listen without effort. That version of you is built through the daily practice you are doing today. Repeat. My future self is fluent. Again. My daily practice is building my fluency. Again. Good. Now, personal speaking visualization. Complete. 1 year from now, I will. Pause. Excellent. Let's close this immersion with extended fluency affirmations to anchor your progress deeply. Repeat after me slowly. I am a patient learner. Again. I am a patient learner. I am a confident speaker. Again. I am a confident speaker. I am a focused listener. Again. I am a focused listener. I grow through practice. Again. I grow through practice. I communicate with courage. Again. I communicate with courage. I am building fluency every day. Again. I am building fluency every day. Thank you so much for staying with me throughout this listening and speaking practice session. I truly hope this time helped you feel more comfortable, more confident, and more connected to the English language. Remember, fluency is not built in one perfect moment. It is built in small daily moments like this, when you listen with focus, speak without fear, and allow yourself to grow step by step. If you found this session helpful, keep practicing regularly, return to the parts that felt challenging, repeat the speaking exercises, and most importantly, continue exposing yourself to English every single day. Because consistency creates confidence, and confidence creates fluency. Keep believing in your progress, keep trusting your learning journey, and keep using your voice, because every sentence you speak brings you closer to the fluent version of yourself. I'll be here with you again very soon for more listening, more speaking, and more real-life English practice. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep moving forward.